Welcome to Spiritual Geography. I'm Joni Miller. My mother said I was a starry-eyed dreamer. She didn't mean it as a compliment. She thought I looked at life through rose-colored glasses and wasn't being realistic. Realistic about the world, realistic about other people, or realistic about my future. She worried for me because she thought I would be disappointed over and over again unless that idealism was nipped in the bud. My mother would tell me not to get my hopes up because she didn't want me to be let down. So I was taught disappointment was something to be avoided at all costs. Keep your expectations low, very low. I tried to be practical. I really did, but this persistent belief in a better tomorrow just kept peeking through and continues to do so. I believe people can make a difference in their own and in each other's lives. And yes, I know the opposite is also true. I'm not completely naive. People can and do really hurt each other. Sometimes unintentionally by acting and speaking from their own pain, their own wounds, and sometimes intentionally by acting and speaking from their own ego. But there is power in possibility. Positive expectations lead to better outcomes. A famous study conducted with teachers in the 1960s showed that teacher expectations of high student performance led to higher student performance. When teachers believed students more capable, the teachers gave the students more positive interaction and more chances to succeed, and the students succeeded. This applies beyond the classroom. When we believe someone is kind, well-meaning, or good, we respond differently to them. We smile more, give more positive feedback, and engage in more pro-social behavior like helping and sharing. As we give these things to this other person, we are more likely to receive the same back from them. When I started my first counseling internship, my therapist told me to find the spark of the divine in each client. By finding this spark, by finding the good in a client, I could imagine even the most troubled client in a positive light with positive outcomes. I could help them build on their strengths and not merely focus on what was going wrong. This helped me a lot. In this community clinic, I came across all sorts of people with problems I'd never experienced in my suburban middle-class existence. Finding the spark of the divine and seeing the good in people and their lives made it easier for me to help and for clients to believe in their potential for healing. This also helped me keep my judgment at bay. People have struggles that aren't seen from the outside. People are resilient and complex. And each person is trying to create the best life out of the hand they've been dealt. There is power in possibility. Possibility that people can channel the better angels of their natures, and possibility that life can improve. But there is a line a starry-eyed dreamer like me has to walk between realism and optimism. I can't tell you where that line is because I have to keep reassessing constantly. Where do I place my trust? How much leeway do I give someone who has been known to not follow through on promises? And that line between realism and optimism doesn't merely apply to people. How do I face something that looks dire, clear-eyed, but leaving open room for possibilities? And there's the rub. That's what's hard about this starry-eyed dreamer outlook. In the last episode of this podcast, I recommended finding something for which to be grateful every day, multiple times a day. Gratitude has psychological and physiological benefits. Merely looking for something for which to be grateful and not finding any still has some psychological and physiological benefits. There also can be psychological and physiological benefits for seeing possibility. Not false hope, not unrealistic expectations, but possibility. On election night in 2016, instead of watching the election returns come in, I watched an interview with Daniel Goleman, who talked about the importance of emotional intelligence. He said something like, "Nobody knows enough to be pessimistic." He meant there may be a solution to our problem or trouble just around the corner. When I say the phrase, life can change in an instant, I'm often referring to the bad things that happen in life, sudden deaths, natural disasters, and that is true. Our life can turn on a dime for the worse. But it can also turn on a dime for the better. A seemingly random conversation with a stranger leads you to your ideal job. An insight leads to a scientific breakthrough. You find love. In a time that appears chaotic and unpredictable, search for possibilities. Become the flower pushing its way through rocky soil to find the sun. If you want, you use your big brain to be realistic first. Think, these are the facts. These are the things I have no control over and cannot change. But then ask, what do I have control over? What can I change? How can I impact this situation? Even if that answer is merely to find more peace for yourself. Don't underestimate the importance of taking care of yourself as a valid response to chaos. Having less stress and tension in your body, less stress in your life, lets you make more clear-headed decisions and improves your relationships. My mother was right that I was and am a starry-eyed dreamer. But she was wrong to try to change that part of me. There is power in possibility, and we can use that power to improve our lives and our circumstances. We don't understand the mysteries of the universe, but we can grow more love. Love for ourselves, love for others, and love for the infinite mystery that lays beyond our understanding. Thank you for tuning in.